NFL Week 13 is in the books, James, and it is time to start looking ahead to the playoffs and even
Oof.
further to the Super Bowl in Santa Clara this year, James. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take turns drafting teams that we believe have the best chance to win the Super Bowl. We're going to each pick 3 AFC and 3 NFC teams, and we're going to alternate, and we'll see which one of us can pick the eventual Super Bowl winner. James, since you're winning big pick energy on the season currently, I will let you have the first pick. Who is your first pick on your Super Bowl team draft?
Heck yeah, man. First pick. Thank you for giving me the first pick. I will say this. I'm locking it in number one. I don't give a rat's you know what. Let me get the LA Rams number one to win the Super Bowl. I don't care what just happened in Carolina. I don't care. They just lost. I'm waiting to hear. This team is loaded offensively. This team is young defensively, and they still have Sean McVay. Give me the quarterback and the team that is built to win the Super Bowl. And guess what? When they win the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, oh man, I cannot wait for the Bloods and Crips of San Francisco versus LA. That's why. Give me number one Rams.
All right, I'm going to go in the NFC for my first pick as well, and I'm going to stay with one of my predictions from the beginning of the season, way back in August when we were talking about teams we thought had a chance to make the Super Bowl. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. I think that this team is getting hot at the right time. I think they have a huge game in Week 14 against the Bears. They actually play the Bears twice before the end of the season. I think the Packers have a great chance to end up being the 1 seed in the NFC, especially after the Rams fell to the Panthers in Week 13. So give me the Green Bay Packers as my first NFC team.
You dirty dog. I was never going to pick the Packers, but you only picked them because you are a what?
I am an owner. See here, this is my share of the Green Bay Packers.
Look at that.
Maybe a little
Bias.
biased.
There's a smidge bias. Yeah. Well, you know what? Going down number two. And you know what, Spence? I think me and you might agree. We might just be an NFC driven team for the Super Bowl. I think the NFC might just win it all. I might do it just because my team's in. That's no bias towards that. Let me get the Seattle Seahawks, man. I don't want to hop on this Sam Darnold train, but guess what, man? They find ways to win defensively, special teams, and their head coach Mike McDonald. I'm shocked how well they performed. And of course, we always talk about JSN, even though not the best of day versus the Vikings, you will need JSN in the playoffs when it comes to these big crunch time playoff sites and locations. And guess what? Imagine, Spence. I'm picking everyone, it seems like, in the NFC West to win the Super Bowl in an NFC West stadium with the 49ers. But I'm not going to pick the 49ers. Are you picking the 49ers?
I am not picking the 49ers. I'm going to go with my highest AFC team. They aren't currently even slated to win their own division, but I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I think they are
Ooh.
playing great football right now. With the exception to them losing to the Texans on Thursday Night Football, they've been playing great football. Josh Allen is one of the best players in the entire NFL, if not the best player in the entire NFL, putting up MVP type numbers. And I think whenever we get down into the playoffs, if there's no Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, which it's looking like that's going to be a thing, I don't see any boogeyman that's going to haunt Josh Allen this year. So give me the Buffalo Bills as my number one AFC team.
I am shocked because I thought you were going to pick the other pretty boy in that division, but it's okay. You leave it up to me and Spence. I guess I'm a bias on the NFC. I've been more impressed with this team than probably a few. I didn't know if they would win. They may not still win their division. It depends. But man, I cannot turn a blind eye. Give me the Chicago Bears, the 3 team to win the Super Bowl. Why? Everyone's going to look at Caleb Williams, inexperience, whatever. I get that. But man, the way that Ben Johnson can draw up plays for DJ Moore, freaking DeAndre Swift, even now Manung Nai. I didn't even know this guy even existed, but he has more 100-yard rushing games than all the rookies that were drafted in front of him in the running back position. But if you bring guys like, and of course, and I think it's maybe a CJ Gardner Johnson fairy tale where wherever he goes, teams go to either the championship or the Super Bowl. So give me the Bears who performingly can, if you can beat the Eagles at Philly, you can go to anywhere in any conditions. Because you know if anyone comes to Chicago, it is going to be a blistering tundra cold storm in Chicago, but I actually do believe Chicago Bears actually have a shot at winning the Super Bowl with their freaking flexibility on the offensive side, but their tough grittiness on the defensive side.
Well, you are sweeping the NFC. You have all your NFC picks done. So I'm going to leave the NFC alone for a little bit. I'm going to go back to the AFC side of things here. And there's two teams I'm debating between right now. So I'm going to go with the quarterback that I trust more. And I'm going to go with one of my teams I also had at the beginning of the season. I'm going to go with the New England Patriots. I
Oh,
think that Drake May and Mike Vrabel are a match made in heaven. I think the Patriots have the inside track to the one seed in the AFC right now. I know the other team that I'm sure you're going to take right now, they're in the conversation for that spot as well. But I think the Patriots are playing great football. They're a complete team. They've got weapons on offense. They have a good quarterback, good defense, good head coach. I think this could be a year they make some noise in the playoffs. So give me the Patriots as my third team.
I'm with you there. Okay, so I've already done my complete sweep of the NFC, like you mentioned. So I'm a very objective. So now I'm going down the AFC side of things. You've already taken AFC East teams. Let me get the Denver Broncos as my first AFC team. Why? Obviously, experienced head coaching, Sean Payton. Obviously, Bo Nix, maybe not the best statistical season this year, but still, you still have a defense that is racking up all types of havoc on the other side of the ball. I do believe that this Broncos team can travel because the thing is, you got to be able to have defense when you travel in the playoffs. So give me the Broncos to find a way to win ugly in the playoffs.
Okay. I am going to go with another AFC team as well. Since you have already taken all the NFC teams, I can leave them on the board. So I'm going to go with another AFC team, but this is an AFC team. This might surprise you. I do not want to take the Indianapolis Colts. I think they would be next up on the betting odds if you're going off of the odds. I'm actually going to go a little bit further. I'm going to go with the team that took them down in week 13. They have one of the best defenses in all of football. And now that CJ Stroud is back and healthy, their offense seems to be playing at a higher level than they've played all season. The Texans are hot, and I think that defense is strong enough on its own for this team to be a Super Bowl contender. So I'm going to take the hot team, and I'm going to say the Texans are my third team that could win the Super Bowl in the AFC.
Man, that was my next pick. That's who I was going with because you mentioned it. The hottest defense all year, not just as of late, all year. So they can go anywhere. Looking overall on the AFC side, I don't want to pick the Jaguars or the Colts. I just don't. So, Spence, I have to pick a team that no one ever trusts this quarterback to win any big games at all. But they're on the board. Give me the Baltimore Ravens just because you mentioned it. They have a quarterback that can do anything. Wins all the MVPs. Can he win in the playoffs? We don't know, but hey, they always run into Pat Mahomes, and guess what? Maybe this is the year they don't run into Pat Mahomes. So I'm going to take my odds on Lamar Jackson and this Ravens team to step the F up and either beat the Patriots or the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. Let me get the Ravens as my second AFC team.
All right. For my second NFC team, I am going to take your Philadelphia Eagles, the defending champions. I know things have been bad lately. I know they're on a rough 2-game losing streak to the Cowboys and to the Bears on Black Friday. And I know both those games were painful for you, James.
Too
But I
painful.
have to believe that this defense is legit. And they have some of the strongest playmakers on that defensive line in the entire NFL. I believe once the playoffs get here, the offense will figure some things out. When the weather gets cold, Saquon is going to be running harder. I think Jalen Hurts is such a strong leader that this offense is going to get it turned around by the time the playoffs arrive, and the Eagles will be in the playoff mix, and no one is going to want to face them in the playoffs in the NFC. I like them as my second team to come out of the NFC.
Oh man, I want to agree with you there. So find a way to fire Kevin Patullo. God dang, just do something. Who knows? But all right, now I'm down to my third AFC team. Why don't you just give me the Jets? No, I'm just kidding, bro. Just kidding. We don't want to do that here. Now, thinking about my third, I'm still avoiding Spence. I'm not picking the Jaguars or the Colts. I just Spence, imagine me with, he used to be bald, and imagine him now with hair curled all the way back, big nose. I gotta go Nick Wright over here. Until you beat the man, yo, let me get the Chiefs, bro. because
Man.
because yo, they make the playoffs, bro. Hey, as they say, anything can happen, man. And I know we talk about basketball, 7-game series, anything can happen. Anything can happen on a Sunday with the Chiefs. And you know me, man. Hey, if the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes and Kelsey find a way to get in, bro, you know the refs got to get involved somehow, bro. Let me get some help on that side too. Give me Pat Mahomes until they're officially eliminated. Give me the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, as we stand right now, outside of Week 13, they are currently 6-6, 2 games out of the playoffs. The division's going to be hard for them to win. They might be done there already. That's a tough one because they're going to have to do some work to get in the playoffs. My last team in the NFC, I don't want to pick the 49ers, even though betting odds has them as the next team. I'm going to go one spot below them, though. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions, another team that is battle-tested in the past. They've had some playoff success in the past 2 or 3 years. I think the Lions are a good enough team to get it figured out. I know they've also had some struggles on the defensive side here recently, and it wasn't a strong showing for them on Thanksgiving against the Packers. But I do think this Lions team is strong enough on both sides of the ball to get it figured out. I love Coach Campbell. I like what they have there with Jared Goff. And yes, the health of Amon-Ra St. Brown is a question mark coming out of Week 13. But by the time the playoffs roll around, I expect the Lions to be a wagon like we always are used to seeing them now. So just to recap, my teams are the Bills, Patriots, Texans, Packers, Eagles, and Lions. James, you have the Broncos, Ravens, Chiefs, Rams, Seahawks, and Bears. Y'all let us know in the comments who has the stronger list of teams that can win the Super Bowl, and were there any teams that we left out that can actually win the Super Bowl in 2026? Y'all let us know down below, and make sure you are subscribed for all of the new Big Game Energy content. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Hey, man, the Jets not winning the Super Bowl.